Fan night. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to go for a minute. But but boss, are you sure? Yeah. Don't worry, I ain't doing any fan bashery. I'm doing what I'm good at. Debating like a motherfucker. And you know what? Sometimes you deal with people. Sometimes. Sometimes they have a difference of opinion of you. And other times you just want to tell these motherfuckers that they're overreacting. And you know what? I do what I do. Just promise me, sir, you won't go back to your fan brat bashery. Nah, probably just debating people is what I'll do. I ain't going back to the life of a ranter. Well, not completely, at least. Hey, fan night. I got some shit lined up for you for next week, so there's some videos for you. But let me go handle this, all right? As you wish. I'll go back to where. I'll go back to where I was. Thank you, and fan night. Yes. Thank you for understanding. No problem, sir. I understand. Now go give this guy a good old, get this, get this guy a good old fashioned chin wag. Thank you. All right, folks, let's get this party started. So, the one thing I want to talk about is this. So I was looking. So I was looking at Screen Hopper. He was saying how he was saying how and let me oh sorry let me put the old logo up so we can just do this. Hold on, folks. I think this is the right one. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hold up. So, so to Screen Hopper, I have this rebuttal to your whole argument. Look, I understand you feel like we're gonna have division, but personally, I see Agni University I see University as its own continuity. I feel like you're getting bent out of shape about something that really isn't a problem, because at the end of the day, let me tell you something. To me, if you're a comic book fan, this is like standard issue. Spider-Man has had multiple changes throughout the years. Sonic has had multiple changes throughout the years. Every character you have ever known has multiple changes throughout their history. To say that people are going to get divided, well, people are going to get divided anyway. Dude, remember, I don't know if you've been in other fandoms, but there will always be division whenever there's a new thing. It's never going to change. Though I do not technically agree with the change like you. I'm not as adamantly like you kind of come off as kind of pissed and kind of sad about it. Me, I'm like, ever read a Marvel comic or a DC comic or a Dark Horse or Image? This is like a standard fucking Tuesday for me. Like, people say it's gonna tarnish the original. To me, nothing can ever tarnish the original. Because I'll still watch it. I'll still have fun. I'll still enjoy the original. Newer fans might hate it, but then again, it's kind of like the old days where people used to hate, where every time an old Sonic fan like yours truly would bring up Sally, Everybody would bring up Sonic X, and then there would be a derision there. There'll always be derisions whenever there's a new entry or a new version of these characters. You act like that's the first thing that's ever happened. Maybe it's ever happened to you, but to me, I've been around the block so many fucking times, sir. You can't even imagine. I have seen fans literally riot because of the Son Ali debacle. Trust me, fans will latch on to whatever version they love the best. That is always going to be the truth. And I know to you it's kind of creepy and disturbing that Buster and Babs are related. And trust me, for me, I was like when I first saw it, I was like, what the actual fuck? But then I realized this is like any other freaking reboot of a comic or the Ultimate Universe. And if I was here, if I could talk about the Ultimate Avengers, we'd be here all night. Because let me tell you, if you're disturbed about Buster and Babs, ooh, if I told you about if you're into the Avengers and I told you about the Ultimates, you would lose your fucking mind. I swear to God, there's a lot of shit I don't like about them. I am gonna say that. But at the end of the day, to me, it's not nothing you can really get bent out of shape about. Entertainment changes to better fit the audience that they're going for. Sure, they probably knew. I'm gonna say they knew wholeheartedly. But if they want to do this change, it's all right because I see it as a different universe. And the way I see it, are Buster and Babs, they're either A, running Acme Lou now, or B, they're living out some kind of countryside, sending their kid to Acme Lou. Plucky and Shirley are together. Fucking Fifi and freaking Hampton are together. They have a kid. And it's just as funny as you think it is. So in that one, like, the kid has like a neat freak, but kind of a dirty streak at the same time, which I think would be hilarious. And I hate to say it, but in my thing in the original Tiny Toons timeline, I feel like Elmira and Monty kind of end up together. They just end up together. Montana Max just says, fuck it. I actually like Elmira. And that happens. Though I think Acme Lou, Tiny Toons Lou is a little bit, it hasn't, like, to me, it found its footing with the younger fans. To its own heads, it's probably not as good as we would want it to be. But maybe it was never for us. Maybe for parents, that's what they just watch it with the kids and be like, oh, I used to watch Tiny Toons too. Or if you're like a family member, like a cousin or a brother, maybe you go, oh, kiddo, I used to watch that too. I believe you're just kind of getting so bent out of shape, man. Characters will always change. There will always be the original. There will always be people that will literally and honestly always hate the versions of these characters. But do we have to constantly give the people? Do we have to constantly give people more fuel on it? No. I'm saying you're free to say your opinion. I'm just saying it's not that. To me, it ain't that serious. Like my old friend that is no longer with me anymore would say, bro, it's not that deep. is what he'd say if he was here. You know? Because at the end of the day, Tiny Toons University is just a long line of reboots that don't work for us, but work for the kiddos. And we just gotta accept that. Hell, I watch some episodes here and there. I have friends that actually like the thing and never watched the original. You know? Sometimes my dear screen hopper, you just gotta accept this and just move on. Now look, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your video. And I know you ain't trying to tell me how to do mine. But I'm telling you right now, that man, it ain't that serious. It ain't that deep. It ain't really worth all this energy you're putting into it. Because at the end of the day, it's just a reboot. And we still have the original. And we still have original to a lot of these things. And rather than constantly saying, this reboot is wrong and we should totally ready to think about it and blah, 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 blah. You know? You should be like, hey, this show may not be my cup of tea, but maybe for some kids, this is probably the good shit. Maybe they will watch the old series and be like, hey, why Buster and Bab's brother and sister? But I feel like you're not understanding that kids are smarter than we actually give them credit for. I know people always go, well, they watch TikTok and they're like losing their attention spans. For the ones that will actually pay attention, they'll probably look that up and be like, oh, well, the old Tiny Toons, okay, Buster and Babs were this. So this is the older version of that. And they'll probably feel weirded out too. Because like you said, maybe they're used to university. But I feel like either side's gonna get weirded out no matter what they see because, you know, both have memories of Buster and Babs being different. So here we are having this major fucking dispute. But I'm telling you, we'll always have these fan disputes, dude. Trust me. Take it from somebody that has been in multiple fandoms and has seen his fair share of crazy shit. I have seen some shit. But you're free to make your video. I just want to say my 2 cents on the matter. This ain't an attack. This ain't me trying to slam you. This ain't me trying to do none of that. I'm just saying my piece. And I hope this doesn't blow up in my face. I'm hoping that you're reasonable and you will actually hear me out with what I'm actually trying to say here. That's what I'm hoping. But I shall see you later. Guys, I got a Sonic Sage video to do. I just wanted to take a minute to tell you, hey, man, it's not worth getting this worked up about. Just saying.